I'm fucking deep in Tennessee with my brothers from the 3. We quick to click and break the peace. No respect for what they.
Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is part 2 of the Let's Make a Simulator series, and in this part we're going to be adding a sell ring so players will be able to sell the donuts they are in, and we will also be adding the design, the GUI. We will actually be scripting the GUI in the next part. So first thing we're going to need to do for the ring is I'm going to insert a cylinder, and I'm going to rotate it so that the circle part is facing up, and just scale it up to however big I want my ring to be. If you ever need to insert a player model as a dummy for size reference, you can just go to plugins, rig builder, build rig, and then choose what kind of dummy you want to insert. I'll just put in a basic R15 rig so we can see how big the player character will be. So that seems like a good size for my cell ring. So what I'm going to do next is just make sure it's whatever size I want on the y-axis, so make it pretty small on there. Now right now this is just a circle, as you can see, not a ring, so I'm going to duplicate it by pressing Ctrl D on my keyboard, size it up, and then make it smaller. Then you're going to position it in the center of this ring. You can just copy and paste the position of your original ring and paste into that, and then as you can see it cuts out like the middle. Now what you want to do to cut sections out of parts is select the part that you want to use as like your scissors. You negate it, and then you select the other part. Now anything inside of this red is going to get deleted when I click union. As you can see, this is now just a ring. We've gotten rid of the whole interior part of the ring. So I'm going to want to select use part color in properties. If you don't have these windows open, make sure you go to view and open your Explorer and properties windows on the very left. I'm then going to change this to a bright green color and also make it neon. Change the color a bit again now that looks like a good color for the cell ring. I'm now going to make this anchored and turn off can collide so that players can't get stuck on it or anything. And there's our cell ring. So what you need to do next is I'm just going to name this ring. Now I'm going to duplicate this ring, and I'm going to click model and then click separate. I'm then going to delete the part, then take this negative part, the red part, select it and click negate. So as you can see, this is a perfect thing, circle that is directly inside of our ring. So if you wanted to have your ring have a little green glowing part at the bottom, I don't, I'm just, in case you wanted to add this, you could do that, then add like transparency. Yeah, we'll add that. Shrink it on that axis, maybe scale it up a tiny bit so we can put that inside of our ring. So what you need now is to trigger. So we're going to duplicate this part, that's the inside of the ring, and just call this trigger. I'm going to make it fully transparent, make sure can collide is off, and scale it up all the way. About that much. So this is the part that when touched is going to actually trigger the cell event. You can't see it because of transparency, but it looks like that. So next thing that I want to do is you obviously want to make it say sell above your ring so players know this is the ring to sell. I'm going to insert a new part. I'm going to make this part transparent. I'm going to add a billboard GUI. Billboard GUI. I'm going to add a text label. Then after I add this text label, I'm going to edit the properties of it. I'm going to set text scaled. I'm going to change the font to whatever I want the font to be. I want Gotham bold. Set the text color to a green color. I'm going to make the text say cell. And as you can see, you now have a cell ring. If you want the text to have an outline, you can just change text stroke transparency to 0, and then it'll add the outline. Then you can change your outline color here if you wanted to add that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this part the same position as the trigger. Drag it up a little bit, and then put this part inside of the ring as well. So as you can see, this is our cell ring. Oh, also, go to your billboard GUI, your text label, and you're going to want to make sure that your size on both of these is set to scale. So I'm going to use a plugin I have here called Scale Offset to Scale. If you need a plugin like this, I'll leave a link to one in the description. I'm not sure if it's free or not. If it isn't, you can just go to your text label. Make sure you're using, in size, the left set of numbers. Go to Billboard GUI. And then Billboard GUI 2, we need to add a distance so you can't see it from anywhere. So, and where is this part? Max distance. Change this to whatever you want the max viewing distance to be. Say I'll choose 30. And there you go. That is our cell ring. Next thing we want to do is make it so that you actually get money in exchange for your donuts when you touch the cell ring part. So what I'm going to do here is add a script into our trigger. First thing I'm going to write is a local multiplier equals 1, because we're going to want to add different areas you can unlock later in the game with different cell rings that give more money. So that is where we will change how much money you get, like 1 times your donuts, 2 times your donuts, so go on. Next we'll write script.parent .touch connect function hit. Now we will say if game.players get player from character hit.parent, then local player equals game.players get player from character hit.parent. Now we will say player.leaderstats.cache.value equals player.leaderstats.cache.value plus player.leaderstats.donuts.value, then player.leaderstats.donuts.value equals 0. So that should hopefully work. I'm also going to add a debounce just so that they cannot spam cell. So local db equals false. Then in here we can just say if, we'll do that up here. After the if game.players don't get player from characters line, say if not db, then tab all this in with an end, db equals true, wait 1, db equals false. So pause the video now if you need to. Make sure you have the script copied down on a script inside of your trigger part for the ring. And here also plus donuts.value. Put brackets around the plus donuts.value and write star or times multiplier. So this will give you your donuts.value plus well, times the multiplier. So if you had set to 2, you would get double your donut value, 3, triple your donut value in cash. We'll set it to 1 for now, since this will be the first cell ring. Let's make sure the cell ring works. It's taking a bit to load again, so I'll probably start editing out these chunks in the next few videos if it keeps doing this where it takes a while to load. But for now, you can just skip ahead to the point in the video where it's done loading. It's probably only a few seconds ahead. Yeah, see, it's already almost done. So remember, if you haven't seen part 1 of this video, make sure to go check out part 1. That should be either the last video I posted on my channel or the video before that, because I'm doing this as a series in parts, and if you didn't watch part 1, you wouldn't have any of the leaderboard or the donut. So this is really far away, but now as you can see, if we eat donuts, it goes up. If you want to anchor some of these parts, but if you walk into the ring, okay, I think I forgot to anchor the ring. So output, there are no errors, so I probably just forgot to anchor the ring. That's always have to make sure you remember to anchor everything that needs to be anchored and have stuff that you can't walk into set to can't collide. Make sure you have all of that. That's the anchored can't collide. That's okay, we don't need to autosave right now. Just ignore that. Now we're going to have to wait for this to load again. That's not nice, but okay. Also, make sure you join the Discord. The link to that will be in the description. If you need any help with this tutorial, I'm there to help anyone that has any questions or anything like that. That's also where I do things like question of the days, we host game nights sometimes. I'll post links to my other Discords for a few games I'm developing personally on there as well. I am also planning on doing an event soon to get a bunch of developers together and do like a 1-week game dev challenge, so you can create the best game in 1 week. So if you're interested in that, make sure you join the Discord below as well. Also, leave a comment below if you have any ideas on videos or tutorials you want, other than this Let's Make a Simulator series. Just anything you want to see, just leave a comment down below and I'll try to get to it. So now when we click, we get donuts, and if we go to the cell ring, our donuts exchange for cash. Say we eat donuts, 2 donuts, 6 cash, now we have 8 cash and 0 donuts. So that's working perfectly. I'm going to make it so you can see the cell ring cell from a bit farther away, because that's not far enough. But other than that, it works fine. As you can see, we don't actually do anything when we eat. I'll show you how to add animations probably in the next video. But for now, what we need to do is get to work on designing the UI. So UI design is a very free thing. You don't need to do exactly what I do. You can change the way UI looks all you want. You should still be able to follow along with the scripting tutorials as long as you just apply how to do the stuff in different places. But if you want to just be able to follow along exactly, just copy the UI I make. So first thing we're going to do is add a screen GUI into the starter GUI, and I'm going to rename this main GUI. Inside of here, I'm going to insert a frame. So first we need to make somewhere that will display how many donuts you have on the left side of your screen. Well, you can do it on the right, top left. I just prefer to put stuff near the bottom left of my screen. I'm going to resize this. That's going to be a good size. I'm going to change the border size pixel to 0. Background color to this nice light blue. Then I'm going to duplicate the frame, another frame inside of it. I'm going to lower this one down and make it a slightly darker version of the blue for a shadow. But as you can see, we now have this. I'm going to rename this to Donuts Display. Inside of here, I'm going to add a text label. Background transparency to 1. Going to set text scale to true. Change our font to cartoon. I'm going to make the text color white. And then say donuts 0. Or you can write 0 donuts. Does that look better? I'll say donuts 0. So as you can see, that's what the UI will look like. Now I'm going to duplicate this donuts display. Select all the parts, or all the UI elements inside of this donuts display by holding Control on my keyboard and clicking all 3. And then drag this one down. I'm going to rename this one to Cash Display. This is where we will display how much cash the player has. Then here I'm just going to write $0. So those will be our UI displays. Now what I'm going to do is insert a local script into our main GUI. So originally I wasn't going to script the UI in this video, but I'll just do that right now since it's very easy. Say local player equals game.players.local player. We'll then say repeat wait until player find first child leader stats. Next we'll say script.parent.donutsdisplay.textlabel.text equals donuts :space player.leaderstats.donuts.value, and then we can just copy this line, paste it, change donuts display to cash display, and here just set a $sign player.leaderstats.cash.value. Next, what you need to do is say player.leaderstats.donuts.change:connect function, and then paste this, and then same thing below, player.leaderstats.cash.change:connect function, and then copy the cache one. So now, if I'm just gonna move these down a little bit so they're actually like right in the bottom left. I'm also going to set these to scale. You need an offset to scale plugin if you're making UI, because if you don't change it to scale, then basically your UI won't be the same size on all devices. So unless you're just changing it to scale manually yourself after you create it, or that's really hard and annoying, so it's better to just search offset to scale plugin. If you go Roblox, then go to your create tab, then go to plugins, library, then plugins. You can just search for offset to scale plugin and use that, and it will automatically change it to scale for you instead of offset, which is much better, because then your UI will work on pretty well on mobile, any PC monitor for different sizes. Whereas if it's scale or offset, if you have a really small monitor, it'll look right for yours, but on a big monitor, it'll look tiny. Whereas if you have like a big monitor, like my monitor is really big, before I learned to change it to scale, on people that had smaller monitors, the UI would be like half off the screen, or would just be so huge that it was like taking up 70% of your screen. But now, as you can see, when I click, you can see my donuts are changing in the bottom left. If I go over here and sell my donuts, you can see my cash goes up. So that's going to be it for this part of the tutorial series. I hope you all enjoyed. Part 3 will be coming out sometime next week. I'm either going to do, every week I'm going to be trying uploading 2 videos now. It's either going to be 1 simulator tutorial series video and 1 other video, or 2 simulator videos a week. I'm not sure which one yet. It depends on how many ideas I have and how many of you are giving me suggestions. So let me know in the comments below what you want. But I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a part. I'll see you all in the next video.